So next, chapter 5, which we have to start with, is related to those material balance problem, which will involve some reactions. So when we look at those problem, or what you have to study during all this stuff, that all those problem which involve reaction, there are few terminologies which you will be introduced with, those which you already don't know, or some of you maybe will be aware about few terminologies, but most of things are new here for you. Overall it is material balance, but it will involve, because some terms which are like generation and consumption terms. So in order to calculate those generation and consumption terms, you have to do some other calculation. You will come across some other terminologies. So overall, here is a brief outline of chapter 5 of your textbook, or the things which you have to study. So in this we will be studying, like, first of all, you will look at how to write the equation for balance which involve chemical reaction. So equation is simple, the same equation of material balance, which was accumulation is equal to input plus generation minus output minus consumption. You will be using same equation, but here you have to look at those terminologies which were related to the reaction, which was actually one was we call it like generation, and other is consumption. So that's you have to look at how to adjust them, how to work on them while solving these problems. Then when we involve the chemical reaction, there are something called stoichiometric amounts of reactant and products. So you have to look at how much stoichiometric amount of something will be produced or will be consumed. So what are those stoichiometric amounts? I think today we will cover this section. So stoichiometric coefficients, what is ratio of stoichiometric coefficient, and how to involve them. So we will look at that stuff. Then there is some of you, I think already most of you know these terminologies: limiting and excess reactants. So we have to identify which one is limiting reactant, which is an excess reactant, and how it will control our material balance, or how it will affect the material balance. Then how to calculate excess amount of any reactant, how to calculate yield of product. So what does these terminologies mean? We have to look at these. Then extent, that's something totally new for you, that extent of reaction. For a reaction, when reactant provided are not in a stoichiometric ratio, or they are in non-stoichiometric ratio, that's something called stoichiometric ratio. We will look at this. When they are not in stoichiometric ratio, then what to do? You have to calculate the extent of reaction. So how to determine extent of reaction? We have to understand this. We have to look at its formula. Then there is degree of freedom analysis for these reacting systems. Up to here, degree of freedom analysis were very simple, like you have to look at only two things. What were those two things which you involved till now?
Unknown and independent equations.
Equations,
Unknown variables and equations.
independent equation.
Yes, good. Only the number of unknown and independent equation which you can write for that system. But here, when reactions are involved, so you have to look at this stuff, how I can write the equation, and what can be the equations, and that will become a bit complex as compared to this only two terms. More term will involve in the degree of freedom analysis. We will look at that in detail, inshallah. Then there is you have to solve material balance problem. Using up to here, you have used two type of equation when you write most of the time. I'm talking about material balance equation. Some are explicit equation, implicit equation. I'm not talking about those. When you write the balance equation, that's overall balance, or that is based on components. Do you agree that you guys wrote
Yes,
two
sir.
types of balance? Either it
Yes,
was
sir.
overall balance, or I told you that you guys can write like component balance. For example, there is H2SO4, there is water, and such equation, they are called component. And if we write overall, like flow rate of inlet stream is equal to flow rate of outlet stream total flow rate, that is overall balance. But here is something new which you will involve in these systems, that is called elemental balance. What does this mean, elemental balance? What comes to your mind when we say elemental balance?
सर एक
Elements.
जो कंपाउंड है उसका जो हर एलिमेंट का बैलेंस
Yeah, good. Exactly, it is
Carbon
based on element. For example, if there is a water, so if I apply the balance of water, this is the balance of component, water component, but when I apply the balance of hydrogen only, H, and balance of oxygen, that is elemental balance. So that will be involved here in reaction systems. Then at the end, that's something related to stack gas analysis, or we call it flue gas analysis. That's something offset analysis, dry bases, wet bases. This we have to look, and I think with this we will link something which we earlier studied, ideal gas equation. And if you remember, there was some topic related to material balance on ideal gas equation. So after this, I will just quickly go back to that chapter and solve those problems. I think they are mostly simple problem without reaction, but at the end of this, we have to cover also that stuff. So with this, we will be done with the material balance stuff. So overall, this is, I think, chapter 5, which will be completely covered in all these contents. So for here up to here, you have studied material balance for non-reacting system, but then what is the need to study the reacting system material balance? Can anyone answer this question? आपकी आवाज काफी कम आ रही है.
Most processes में reactions ही होते हैं.
Yes, good. Most of the time when you will be dealing with the chemical engineering, most of the time you involve some reactions. All those systems which you studied, they are called mostly operation where some separation is taking place or some mixing is taking place. If you just look at the chapter 4 problem, they can be easily categorized into two categories, either mixing or separation. So no reaction, but when you look at the chemical plants, there will be some chemical reaction going on. So whenever there are chemical reaction, then you have to study the balance which involve material. You have to study those systems which will be involving reaction. So you should be able to solve the material balance of all those systems. So most of our plants involve chemical reaction. Due to this, it is necessary to study this. Second one, when we talk about the reaction, so there is some piece of equipment in which reaction take place, which is named as a reactor. So whenever you have to design some reactor, you will need material balance to solve the things on that reactor. So for that you also need, and when there is a reactor, it's there is a reaction, and when you should be able to solve such problem which involve reaction. Then most of the time you have to calculate, you have to identify the most efficient operation of the reactor. Which product is produced in which amount, how much reactant are being consumed. These all things are related to actually design or the calculation of the reactor. So due to all these reasons, the major reason is most of our processes in chemical engineering, they involve any reaction. And for those reactions, you need a reactor. And when you are designing the reactor, you will need the calculation of the reactant products, how much reactant are consumed, how much product was produced, any byproducts are produced. So for all those things, you will need to write the balance. You have to calculate the amounts. Due to this reason, we are going to study this. So when you look at the reactive system balance, up to here, there was a simple equation which was used for most of the problem. Input is equal to output, or maximum you involved in some problem, there was accumulation is equal to input minus output. But generation and consumption terms, up to here, they were ignored, but now you can't ignore them. You have to include them. Because when there is a reaction, I already told you, I'm again and again emphasizing on this point. Generation. What does generation mean? I think we discussed in the start of material balance.
Sir, production.
Yes, formation of any product. And consumption?
Depletion of reactant.
Sorry?
Depletion of reactant.
Yes, depletion of the reactants. When reactants are consumed in any reaction, that is called generally consumption term. All other are sleeping, only 2-3 guys are answering. Okay, that's the reason why you are going to study the material balance on these systems. So after that, we have to look at something called stoichiometry. G, sorry.
सर आपकी आवाज
आवाज
बहुत
कट रही
ज्यादा
थी
कट रही है।
मेरी आवाज कट रही है
सर क्लियर है आपकी
यस
आवाज।
सर, मुझे लगा मेरा नेट स्लो है।
सर। हाँ, आप लोगों की तरफ इशू हो सकता है ना, सिर्फ मेरी तरफ नहीं। यहाँ नेट ठीक चल रहा है, ओवरऑल फाइन आई थिंक। जस्ट आप लोग डिस्कनेक्ट करके जिनको इशू आ रहा है दोबारा कनेक्ट कर लो। Right.
ठीक आ रही है।
In material balance, there is something called stoichiometry. So what does stoichiometry mean? Or you are studying this subject which was called industrial stoichiometry. So you should be aware about what the word stoichiometry means. So it's derived from the two words, actually two Greek words, stoichion and metron. So stoichion mean element and metron mean measurement. So if we generally simply in simple words, it will be called as measurement of elements, measurement, calculation of the elements, that how many elements are consumed in some reaction, how much something is produced in some reaction. So that's the study of all this is called stoichiometry. So stoichiometry is the study of production or generation and consumption of different elements in different reactions. So what does stoichiometry provide? Stoichiometry provide you the quantitative means of relating the amount of product which are produced in some reaction or the amount of reactant which are consumed. You can also call it vice versa. So stoichiometry mean this give you quantitative measurement. Quantitative measurement or quantitative mean you can do some calculation. You can calculate based on the numbers that, for example, if there are two reactant, just for example, you have NaOH plus HCl. So this is one is base and other is acid. So they react and they produce water plus NaCl, salt. So we
सर आप ये काफी
टोटल ब्लैकआउट।
कुछ भी आवाज नहीं आ रही सर की, तो आई नहीं।
आवाज नहीं आ रही बिल्कुल ही।
नथिंग।
थोड़ा सा वेट।
थोड़ा सा बिल्कुल।
ओके।
नासा का इंटरनेट नहीं है जो फुल फास्ट आएगा।
अच्छा इधर ना शुरू हो जो सर।
सर का नेट चला गया।
अच्छा
सच्ची
hello,
हमें तो
can
पता
you
ही
hear
नहीं।
me?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me.
सर आपकी आवाज काफी कट रही है।
Now what
अब आई
about now?
अब आ रही है।
ठीक है।
Yes, sir.
Right. So I was talking about stoichiometry. Initially, I told you that stoichiometry is measurement of elements. What does that mean? It's mean how much something is produced or how much something is consumed. We have to look at that in the subject which we call it stoichiometry. So due to this, you are studying here this industrial stoichiometry. It will deal with those systems in which you do the calculations. And these calculation mean this material balance, that to calculate the amount of reactant consumed or product produced in some system. So stoichiometric equation or chemical reaction equation, what does that mean or what is that? That is a statement simply which relate the number of molecule of the reactant or products. Chemical reaction or chemical reaction equation, that you can also call it stoichiometric equation. As I was talking about this, like there is a reaction between sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid, NaOH plus HCl. They react and they produce water plus NaCl. So this equation, which when I write this equation, that is called simply chemical reaction equation or stoichiometric equation. So this, if you look at this thing, that is simple statement which is relating reactant with the products. So for example, here is one stoichiometric equation for the oxidation of sulfur dioxide. So oxidation of sulfur dioxide mean, when you say oxidation, it's mean addition of oxygen to any reactant or reaction of oxygen with something. For example, here you have SO2, it reacts with oxygen and SO3 is produced. So is this a balanced equation? So what does balance equation mean?
Yes, sir.
सर सही है
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
balanced है
Yes, sir.
When we
Sir,
say-
equal one.
when we say this is chemical reaction equation or stoichiometric equation, you guys already know, and you know that equation should be balanced. When we say the word balance, what does this mean?
Sir,
elements
reactants
का
will
number
be
of
बराबर
moles
होंगे।
equal से
Number of moles दोनों side
Reactant
पे
is equal
बराबर।
to product.
Not number of mole, simply the elements, amount of any element or number of any element on one side of equation should be equal to number of element on the other side of equation. For example, here are how many sulfur are reactant side? There are two sulfur atom, and how much it should be on the product side? That should also be 2. So they are definitely 2, and same for oxygen. For oxygen, you guys can see that total there are 6 oxygen. Oxygen. Okay, I'm not talking about O2. 6 O. So on the other side of the equation, they are also same. So that's called balanced equation. If it is not like that, then it will not be balanced equation. So what does these numbers mean? It's mean when we write these numbers, for example, 2SO2 plus 1 oxygen, we don't write 1, but here O2, it will have 1. So it's mean overall in this reaction, what is happening, 2 moles of sulfur dioxide are reacting with the 1 mole of oxygen to produce how many moles of SO3? 2 moles of SO3. So you have to write like a balanced equation, and based on that, then when equation is balanced, you can tell that how many reactants react with each other and they produce how much amount of any product. So these number I was saying, like there is 2 SO2 which we call as mole. Mostly they are the mole of 2 moles of SO2 react with the 1 mole of oxygen. So what we call these number, they are called as stoichiometric coefficients. They are named as stoichiometric coefficients. In a stoichiometric equation, the moles which are associated with the different species, they are called stoichiometric coefficients. Understand this? I think you are already aware about these terminologies. What is reaction equation? What is balanced equation? What does these number indicate? So if anyone has any issue, can ask. So most of the time when you write it, any question?
No, sir.
Right.
No, sir.
When you have to write these coefficients, most of the time we don't write any unit. But these have some units. So what are those units? Those units are moles. As I already said, you guys know that their unit are moles, which is not represented in the equation, but you know, for example, if you take as a 2 mole of SO2, that's mean 2 gram mole you are talking. So that will react with the 1 gram mole of oxygen and it will produce 2 gram mole of SO3. Similarly, you can also call them as a kilomole. There can be pound mole. So all these are the units of these systems. So which are used for with these equation, but they are usually not wrote. They are simply like you write 2 mean 2 mole. That can be 2 kilomole, 1 kilomole, and so on. So these units are associated with these number which are not represented. Oops. Like whenever you write any equation and you are looking for these number, these are some basics. Later on we have to use these in the calculation. Due to this, I'm talking about all this stuff, and it is also discussed in the chapter when you read the book. So most of the time you are aware about these things, but still maybe someone don't know. Due to this, I'm again repeating all this stuff. So whenever you write the equation, that should be balanced chemical equation, as I talked about this in the last example also. Here this equation is the balanced. So you have to balance the equation, and balance mean, I'm again repeating, that number of any element on one side of the equation should be equal to the number of elements on other side of the equation. So whenever you write any equation, why they are balanced? Because items are neither created nor destroyed. Mean that's already the law of conservation of mass. You already studied this in the start of material balance, that they cannot be created nor destroyed. Yes, if we just ignore nuclear reaction, because in nuclear reaction it is possible, but in normal conditions they are neither created nor destroyed. So if there is one carbon, that will be also the one carbon in the product. If there is one carbon in the reactant, it should be one carbon in the product. And similarly, if there is one oxygen, it should be the one oxygen in the product side. Like you have this equation CH4 plus oxygen. What is this? I mean, CH4, you know, methane, its oxidation takes place, mean burning of the methane, burning of fuel. So during this, CO2 plus water are produced. So is this a balanced equation? No.
No, sir.
Why?
Oxygen
Can
और
you tell
hydrogen
me
नहीं है.
which element is
Oxygen और
not balanced?
hydrogen के
Hydrogen, sir,
elements balance
hydrogen.
नहीं है.
Yes. So here carbon, one carbon on the product side. Hydrogen, you look, hydrogen are 4 on the reactant side, and on product side there are 2 hydrogen. So how you can balance it? You can multiply the water term with 2. When you multiply it with 2, hydrogen becomes 4 on product side, as same as they are on reactant side. So next, look at the oxygen. There are 2 oxygen on the reactant side. I'm looking at the first equation, not second one. This first equation, I'm talking about this. So in this, you can see that there are now 2 oxygen. So on the other side, when I have balanced, I have multiplied this equation with the 2, for example, in order to balance the hydrogen. So in this case, overall there are 2 oxygen on reactant side. On product side, you have 2 plus 2, 4. So how you can balance it? You can just multiply this equation also with the 2. This
Sure.
side with the 2. When you multiply oxygen with the 2, it will become oxygen on the reactant, same as they are on the product side. So the balanced equation is provided in next equation, which is written here. That is the balanced equation. काइंडली अपना माइक म्यूट रखें, काफी दफा बताया जाता है ये, प्लीज. So the coefficients in the balanced equation have units of mole, as already specified, already mentioned this, that in any particular equation. Now how many moles of CH4 are here in this? How many moles of CH4 are reacting with the oxygen in the balanced
Sir,
equation?
one mole of
1
methane.
mole of CH4 is reacting with the 2 moles of oxygen, and how much moles of CO2 and water are produced?
Sir, 1 mole and
1
2
mole of
moles of
CO2
water.
and 2 mole of
Yes,
H2O.
1 mole. So now mole can be kilomole, mole can be pound mole, it can be gram mole. So any number of any unit you can use, but please use same unit for all of those. By repeating this, because later you guys have to make the calculation, so student make mistakes. Some of those they just consider, suppose 1 gram mole for this CH4, and for any other they just consider randomly any other unit, kilomole or pound mole. So that unit should be same for all the calculation, please. So when you look at this, these problem overall, for example, we bring in contact 1 mole of CH4 and 2 mole of oxygen. This reaction take place and all reactant are consumed. All reactant are consumed. What does this mean? It means this, which was 1 mole of CH4, it reacted with the 2 moles of oxygen, and they produce 1 mole of CO2 plus 2 moles of water. This is called complete reaction. But let's consider another example in which, for example, I bring 50 mole of methane. So when you bring 50 mole of methane, how many moles of oxygen will be needed for complete combustion?
100.
100
Sir,
mole.
100.
100.
100. Why 100? Because for 1 mole of CH4 you need 2 mole of oxygen. So it's mean when there are 50 moles of CH4, it's mean you need double. That's mean 100. Okay, good. So that's called complete reaction. It will be completely consumed because they are available in the ratio which should be as per stoichiometric equation. The ratio as per stoichiometric equation is that 1 mole of CH4 need 2 mole of oxygen for the complete reaction. So for example, I mean in another stuff here, okay, it was 50 and the 100, so it's mean it is complete reaction. So another example, like they are 50 and also there are the 50 moles of oxygen. So in this case, what will happen?
Incomplete combustion.
Which one will be left over?
Sir, carbon.
Oxygen.
Methane.
Out of
Methane, sir.
these two-
Methane.
Methane.
Yes, these
Oxygen.
reaction good. Yes, methane. Because when first methane mole will react with the 2 moles of oxygen, so products will be produced and so on. It will continue until 25 moles of CH4 are consumed with, and at that time 50 moles of oxygen will be consumed. So that's 25 moles of CH4 will be left. This is not complete reaction. Why we are not calling it not complete? Not complete in terms of this, that all reactant are not converted to the product. Some reactant are just left. So here in this book, most of the problem which you will be dealing with, that they have proper degree of completion. Proper degree of completion mean the same example, the same term, that all reactant are consumed, they are converted to the products. So in any problem, while you are dealing with these problem and you don't know that how much reaction has occurred or how much reactants are converted, suppose in any question he didn't mention, so you can just consider, I mean, while solving these problem, that it is complete reaction, all reactant are consumed. But in most of the problem, he will tell you if it is not consumed. If something is totally consumed, most of the time he will not talk about this. So you have to automatically consider that all reactants are consumed in that system. So next, here later on when you do the calculation, if you remember, the material balance equation involve mass. Do you remember that equation? Yesterday I was telling you even that, like, equation, when you write the material balance equation, what you are talking about actually the mass. Most of the time you are talking about, hello,
Mass.
Yes, sir. Mass.
input is equal to output, and we say that mass of something
Yes,
in
sir.
input. It's mean, okay, now up to here, why I'm talking about this point here, because you are dealing with the moles in these equations. So when you have to write the material balance equation, there you will write, suppose, amount of oxygen consumed, amount of CO2 produced. So when you say amount, that's mean there you have to deal with the same units in the equation. If input is in, you are writing in the mass, output you are writing in the mass. So it's mean generation and consumption terms should also be written in the mass. So how you can write them? You can convert those moles based on the equation, stoichiometric equation. For example, 50 moles of CH4 were consumed. So can I convert it to the mass?
Yes, sir. मतलब
How?
mass से
Yes,
multiply
sir.
कर देंगे.
Yes, simply you have to use the old concept of moles. Moles is equal to mass over molecular weight. If you need mass, no problem, just multiply the moles with the molecular weight. For example, for this 50 moles of CH4, if I need the mass, can you tell me what will be the mass in gram? 50 moles of CH4.
800 grams.
16 into 50.
Yes, it will be simply 800 gram. You have to multiply 50 in moles, multiply by its molecular weight, that is 16. So 50 into 16 is 800 gram. You will need this. So you will need these interconversion from mole to mass or mass to mole. So just take care of this while solving these problem. So we use these coefficients in chemical equation to obtain the relative molar amount of the product produced or reactant consumed. But this term mean whenever you are writing any material balance equation and you need how much something is produced, generated, or how much it is consumed, from where you will get this information of generation and consumption. You will get these from equation. It's mean when you are dealing with any chemical reaction material balance, you should know what is the chemical reaction equation for this system, and that equation should be the balanced one. when you know this balanced equation, then you can use it for later on calculation of generation and consumption. So this information will come from here. Like, look at this equation. So can you tell me, is this equation balanced?
Balance.
For all elements?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what does this
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Okay, this equation contains something extra. Overall, there are some elements, heptane, I think this we call heptane. ऐसे ही है? C7H16, yes. And then it
Yes,
reacts
सर
with
ऑक्सीजन एक्सेस में नहीं है?
it reacts with
नहीं,
oxygen,
नहीं.
11 moles of oxygen. There are
ODI है,
7 moles
22
of
है.
oxide and 8 moles of water are produced.
22 balance है both sides.
हाँ ठीक
Sir,
ठीक.
states हैं इसके अंदर extra.
G?
States, liquid, gas.
Yes, one thing extra here mentioned is actually something is in liquid, G, L for liquid, G for gas, and if S is written, that's solid. So later on, when you will be dealing with these, sometime you will need to know about this information, that either something is in liquid, gas, or what he is talking about. So that's mentioned here simply. What are their states? In parentheses, sometimes this is something is mentioned. No need to worry, they are actually about the state of any system. So as already you mentioned that this equation is balanced, because everyone I think is aware about this, that how it is balanced, or what does balanced equation mean. Initially when you will write, it will be simple heptane plus O2, it reacts and produce CO2 plus H2O. Later on we wrote these numbers to make it balanced. So what are stoichiometric coefficient? Are all species in a balanced equation? Can you tell me what are their stoichiometric coefficient? First of all, you just studied few minutes back that what stoichiometric coefficient is. So can you tell me what is stoichiometric coefficient of heptane?
1.
What does that mean? Because one here we don't mention, but it's mean 1 mole of this is reactant. Okay, in the balanced equation, all these number which are written in with these species, they are called stoichiometric coefficient. So here is 1 mole of this. Okay, how many? What is the value of stoichiometric coefficient of oxygen?
11.
11.
Anyone with 22? No. It is simple, 11 moles. As per balanced equation, you have to look at that. So there are 11. So it means stoichiometric coefficient is 11 for oxygen. And same for CO2, you guys can see that there are the 7 moles of CO2. So 7 and 8 moles of water are here. So all these are stoichiometric coefficient of these species. So let's look at this something called stoichiometric ratio. So what does that mean, or what is stoichiometric ratio? So it is just simply, there are different molecular species. For example, this equation, you can see that there are 4 species. One is heptane, other is oxygen, if there is CO2, and then water, 4 species. So if I just write the stoichiometric coefficients in ratio of one component with respect to other component, that's named as simple stoichiometric coefficient ratio, or stoichiometric ratio of 2 molecular species that participate in any reaction. That's the ratio of simple stoichiometric coefficient. For example, in this simple example from where we started, that 2 moles of SO2 react with the 1 mole of oxygen, and they produce 2 moles of SO3. So if I just write their ratio, for example, here moles of SO3 are generated from 1 mole of oxygen. So this means we are writing the stoichiometric ratio between SO3 and oxygen. So you can write stoichiometric ratios between any of the component in any system. It can be between the reactants, it can be between one reactant and other product, or for example, here 2 reactants are there, so any reactant and the product. Can you solve this problem by using this stoichiometric ratio concept? He said that for this equation which is given above, for SO2 plus oxygen reaction can give you SO3. So calculate the amount of oxygen which is
सर ये स्टाइकोमेट्रिक रेशियो किस तरह लिखी है, समझ नहीं आई इसकी.
सर स्टाइकोमेट्रिक रेशो अभी आपने इससे पिछली स्लाइड पे पढ़ा है, व्हाट इज स्टाइकोमेट्रिक कोफिशिएंट, ये पता है?
जी सर पता है।
बस उनको आपस में जस्ट आप किसी भी दो की रेशो ले लोगे तो उस चीज़ को कहा जाता है स्टाइकोमेट्रिक रेशो। वो कुछ भी हो सकता है, जैसे आपके पास 2 मोल SO3 के प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं जब 1 मोल ऑक्सीजन का रिएक्ट करता है, तो मैं जस्ट इनकी रेशो लिखता हूँ, तो दैट इज सिंपल स्टाइकोमेट्रिक रेशो।
तो सर ये
That's
ऑक्सीजन
something you can link it. It's something similar like the conversion factor, which we studied earlier when we were converting from one unit to the other, and we used to multiply it with some conversion factor. So it will act as a conversion factor here in these systems. For example, if you have to solve this problem of 1600 kg per hour of SO3 are produced, and you have to find the amount of oxygen required for this system. So can you guys solve it, please?
Sir, 800.
800.
No. Can anyone show here calculation? Let me write here because some of you will not be
Sir
able
ji?
to do this.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर। सर मैंने ये पूछना
Yes.
था कि जो आपने ये इक्वेशन में स्टेट लिखी हुई है, इससे कोई इक्वेशन पे फर्क पड़ेगा या नहीं? मेरा वो नेट चला गया तो इसलिए लेफ्ट हो गया। तो
No. I was just saying that somewhere in the book you guys will see the equation. They are written in this stuff, like there is something called liquid is written, gas. So don't need to worry. They are just the state of matter in that reaction. Either it's something is in liquid, solid, or gas. Okay. No,
Okay.
I mean that's nothing. Just if somewhere sometime equations are mentioned like this, so no need to get confused. That's some simple the state of any reactant or product is given.
Okay, sir.
So how did you
Thank you.
calculate, by the way, here the amount of oxygen? So in order to calculate the amount of oxygen, how you can calculate?
So mole ratio.
Because we don't know the amount of oxygen, and he said in this question that 1600 kg per hour of oh, yeah.
Sir, 160 is the answer.
Anyone has confusion here in this?
2560 2000
Sir, 160 नहीं?
यार 160 मोल आएंगे, उन्होंने मैथ्स पूछा है।
Yes. So here you have to start with this because you have to find the mole of oxygen. So mole of oxygen, how you can start or how you can link, you can use the stoichiometric ratio. That is SO3 and O2. So you can see that one mole of SO3 are produced, 1 mole of oxygen is
डिस्टॉर्शन आ रही है।
सर ये 39 का माइक म्यूट कर दें।
39 को म्यूट करें सर, म्यूट करें सर।
So moles of oxygen, when there is here 1 mole of oxygen, 2 moles of SO3 are produced. So it's mean the given amount, which is 1600 kg per hour, this should be converted to the moles. So can anyone directly tell me how many moles of SO3 are here?
32
20 80
80?
20.
सर 20
Sir, 20
Can you-
answer है.
No. I'm asking about this. That
Moles का
when you
मतलब
look
20
at
answer है. Moles
1600
20 है उसके
kg
SO3
per
के.
hour, just convert it to
20.
the moles.
तो इसका 20 है ना moles इसके.
Right, 20 mole of SO3, you know from this information. So when you know this, just multiply it with the some stoichiometric ratio, that when there are 2 moles of, for example, SO3, so it's not mentioned here, where it's in numerator, so you have to put on the other side in denominator. So it's mean we have to write that there is 1 mole of oxygen is consumed when 2 mole of divided by 2 moles of SO3 are produced. So just solve it and you guys will get, I think, 10. So it's mean 10 moles. So
जैसे 320 आंसर आ जाएगा.
30 plus mean oxygen is 16, so plus 16 80. Yes, you have to divide here. I mean, for all those who don't know, this is 1600 kg of SO3. It means we have to just divide, I mean, by the molecular weight of SO3, which is 80. So you will get 20 moles. So when you have these moles, you have to just multiply it with the stoichiometric ratio. So that's based on this balanced equation, that when there is 1 mole of oxygen in the reactant, there are actually 2 moles of SO3 are produced. So their SO3 will cancel with SO3 and you will get the moles of oxygen. There are 10 moles. So I mean, when you have find the moles, you can convert it to the molecular weight. So it is 10 multiplied by 2. Okay. Anyone has any issue, let me know. Otherwise, let's jump to next step. Clear? Right. Up to here, when we discuss something, I told you that mostly the reaction is 100%. Our 100% conversion is taking place. Anything which was for example, I give you example that when there is a 1 mole of CH4, actually you need 2 moles of oxygen for the complete reaction. So sometime mean these are not in specific ratio, as we discussed that when there are the 50 moles of CH4 but there are at the same time 50 moles of oxygen, so in that case this will be not complete reaction because some of the methane will be left over which is unreacted in the system. When you come across such situations, I mean, what to do, how to proceed with the in calculation of those system, or how to perform the material balance on those system. So when the reactant are added in the reactor and they are not in the something proper ratio, or reaction goes to completion, in up to here we discussed this, but in other condition, for example, they are existing in the other ratios of the reactant. For example, they should be in ratio of 1:2. 1 ratio, for example, 1 mole of CH4 against 2 mole of oxygen. If their given composition is not in this ratio, for example, it is 50:50, so that is not 1:2. 50:50 moles are in like 1:1. So when the ratio is not as per the stoichiometric equation, our overall reaction is not complete. So in those cases, how to deal with them? So you have to involve some other terminologies. You will come across such problem in a lot of problem in which the reaction is not complete. It is not 100% consumed, or the reactants amount are not in complete ratios. So in those cases, how to proceed with that? For example, in last slide there you have seen this equation of C7H16 that react with the oxygen and you are producing carbon dioxide and water. So what was the ratio in the balanced equation? Can you recall? Can you tell me what was the equation in the balanced equation? What was the ratio between the reactants?
1:11.
1:11.
Yes, so it's mean if this reaction is taking place, so overall if there is one reactant, 1 mole of C7H16, so there should be 11 moles of oxygen. So if they are not present in this ratio, it means there will not be complete conversion of all the reactant. For example, any of these can be like in less amount, but most of the time we can consider like oxygen, which is available in the form of air, that is in excess, and other reactant is present in the small amount as compared to that. That is not in that specific ratio, so it means that will be the leftover. One will be in excess and other will be like consumed earlier. So here, which one will be any of those which is eliminated first, or which is like finished first? That's called limiting reactant. When you look at these two reactants, for example, there was C7 and H16 and it is reacting with oxygen. So just for example, I say, okay, it was in the ratio of 1:11, but let's say there are like, okay, 5 moles of C7H16 and 5 moles of C7H16 and there are 50 moles of oxygen. So can you tell me which one is limiting in that case?
Oxygen.
There are 5 moles of this C7H16 and oxygen is 50 moles. So how much they should be actually? When there was 1 mole of heptane, there were 11 moles of oxygen were needed in that case for complete reaction. So but it is like 50, so that will be consumed earlier, that is limiting reactant. You can take a reverse of that, in that case you can take any number in which C7H16 is limiting as compared to other stuff. For example, you take for example 5 mole of C7H16 and there are 100 moles of oxygen. So in this case now 100 moles of oxygen. When there are 5 moles of heptane, actually you need only 55 moles of oxygen, but now they are 100 and heptane is only 5. So in this case, heptane is the limiting reactant. So other reactant, whenever there will be reactant and one will be limiting, other will be considered as a excess reactant, and anything else that is still left over at the end of the reaction, that is excess reactant. So I mean, any reactant is limiting if it is present in less than the stoichiometric proportion relative to the other. Stoichiometric proportion, how you can calculate this stoichiometric proportion? Just as per balanced equation. For example, in the given case, it is 1:11, 1 of C7H16 to the 11 moles of oxygen. For any given ratio, you can just simplify that and just look that either they are in the stoichiometric ratio or not, and which one is less than the stoichiometric ratio, that will be treated as like limiting. If all the reactants are present in the stoichiometric ratio, then no one is in the limiting. Both will be considered same. For example, it is 1:11, or maybe you have like 5 to 55, so they are in the same stoichiometric ratio. Always they will be giving on simplification the same ratio as per stoichiometric equation. So none of them will be a limiting reactant. So tomorrow we will start from here. The same discussion, limiting and excess reactant, and actually this will be linked with something called extent of the reaction. I think next we have to look at that concept. So up to here, if you have any question, let me know please.
No sir.
सर वो क्वेश्चन एक दफा जरा दोबारा करा दें.
यस सर, वो क्वेश्चन दोबारा करवा दें.
कौन सा क्वेश्चन?
सर ये जो रिसेंट अभी हुआ
ये
था,
वाला सर, ये वाला स्टाइकोमेट्रिक रेशियो वाला.
This question actually here to calculate the amount of oxygen required for this reaction. This reaction is given here. You have to calculate the amount of oxygen. It means you have to calculate the kg of R. Because it is in kg per R, it means we have to report the answer in kg per R. So kg per R of oxygen which are needed for this, like when there is production of 1600 kg per R of SO2. So in such kind of problems, when you look at this 1600 kg per hour of SO3, he is asking you to calculate the amount of oxygen. The problem here is, I don't know that when there is suppose 1 kg per production of SO3, how much oxygen is consumed. So how can I tell, or how can I link them? They can be linked based on the equation, reaction equation, and that reaction equation involve moles. Do you agree with this, Hasib, up to here? Are you with me?
Yes sir.
I'm telling you that in the question he asked something that is given in the mass, but our equation is in the form of moles. So as per mole, you can tell quickly. Can you tell me how many moles of oxygen are required for how many moles of SO3?
1.
1 mole of oxygen is required when there are 2 moles of SO3 are produced. So as per this I can tell, but as per 1600 kg I can't tell. So it's mean I have to convert that value of 1600 kg to the moles, and when I will get converted it to the moles, then I can just multiply with this stoichiometric ratio, which is that 1 mole of oxygen versus 2 mole of SO3. So I can multiply with this ratio and I can calculate the moles of oxygen simply. So that means you have to convert this 1600 kg per hour to the moles. So that can be converted, just that is mass is given SO3, just divide it by the molecular weight of SO3, which is 80, and you will get that 20 moles of SO3. That's simple, same thing which was given here, 1600 kg, that is converted to the moles. So it's mean now I have to calculate the moles of oxygen which are required to produce 20 moles of SO3. So simple by using this stuff, or even by using the unity rule which you have used in FSC classes, that when there are 2 moles of SO3, 1 mole of oxygen is needed, and when 1 mole of SO3 will be needed, it will be 1/2. And when there are 20 moles of SO3, it will be like 20 over 2, that is equal to 10 moles of oxygen are needed. So that's simple one. If still any confusion, just tell me. Hello, it's clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Other question? Any other question?
No,
So
sir.
your attendance,
No, sir.
all those who want to can leave, and all those who have question can stay here. And one student asked one question at the start, I will also answer that question that's related to some unsolved problem. So if you want to leave, you can leave. Thank you so much. Any other question, please? No question?
No, sir. Allah Hafiz.
Okay, thank you. Allah Hafiz, but one student asked something in the start related to unsolved problem. If you are here, just let me know, please.
So 39 ही था मेरे ख्याल से.
No, I think कोई और था.